Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary, and we're here to bring you your morning weather, water, and trail chatter report. And so this morning we have some news and some weather and water report. Mary's going to take it away and tell us what's up, man.
Thank you, Donald. All right, good morning, everybody. Right now in Blairsville, it's 65 degrees with some haze. We're going to have a high of 81 today with cloudy and a few showers this afternoon, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, and a 30% chance of rain. Then tonight, 62 with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible early. It will be partly cloudy overnight. Winds are light and variable. Blood Mountain today, your high temperature is going to be 72 and it's going to be mostly sunny. There is a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m., 5 to 10 mile per hour winds, and a 30% chance of rain. And then tonight, 62 degrees with a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 p.m., partly cloudy overnight. The winds will be 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20. Make sure you're checking for loose limbs and branches. And then the rain is a 30% chance. Water is good out here for the most part. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter. As you hike north, you have 6.2 miles between Hawk Mountain Shelter and Justice Creek. That is dry. You will be able to get water at Justice Creek. And then Slaughter, it still has some water. I just picked up a rider yesterday at Hog Pen Gap, brought them back to Amicalola, and they said they were able to fill 2 of their Nalgene bottles at the Slaughter water supply. It took a minute, but they were able to get water, which water's water. So that's a good thing to know because blood has no water. It is dry between Neal Gap and Hog Pen Gap, but yesterday when I was up at Hog Pen Gap, I went a little bit early and I was waiting on the rider. I wanted to check out the Hog Pen water source. And as you're hiking north, as you come down the mountain, just before you cross the road there to get up to the parking area for Hog Pen Gap, you'll look to the right and there is a sign that says water. And you'll see the blue blazes. And if you follow that all the way down, you'll see several points where there is water opportunities. The first one on the left-hand side, you'll see the PVC pipe coming out of the ground. That's completely dry there, but don't give up. Come back out of there and continue all the way down that trail just a little bit further. You'll come to the very last blue blaze, and you'll see it right there on the tree. And if you look forwards past the tree and to the left past the tree, there is water and it's flowing nicely. And I would say that's going to be good for another 2 weeks at least. So, especially if the rain keeps replenishing, there is a good flow there, and I did take some video of that. So, definitely water at Hog Pen Gap. All right, snakes. It's that time of year for snakes. They're out in the sunshine, across the trail, logs, stumps, rocks, anywhere. And then make sure you remember hiking 5 miles north out of Neal Gap. You do have Cow Rock with that copperhead nest in the boulders there. All right, Great Smoky Mountains National Park. US 441 Newfound Gap Road is still closed between Sugarlands and Newfound Gap on the Tennessee side because of that landslide last week. And then it is open on the North Carolina side between Cherokee and Newfound Gap. So you will have to access Newfound from the Cherokee side in North Carolina. Bears. All the shelters are open in the Smokies. Campsites 23 and 96 are closed. And then the bear warnings, Charlie's Bunyan and Trillium Gap Trail, and then campsites 83 and 84. Let's remember, Smokies or wherever we are on the trail and outdoor recreation, that we are leaving no trace. If we brought it in, let's bring it out. Let's properly store our food and trash and take our trash out with us. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Donald now. He's going to talk about some other stuff we have going on.
All right, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
See what Mary has going on today. And so let's start with a rescue in Manchester, New Hampshire. New Hampshire Fish and Game officials said they had to call in the Army National Guard to help with a rescue hiker to rescue a hiker in Coos County. Officials got the call about a hiker with a serious leg injury on Castle Trail near Mount Jefferson on Wednesday morning. Fish and Game officials said the hiker's location is a place that is very difficult to hike, let alone carry someone out on a stretcher. A helicopter was used to safely maneuver into the area and fly the Vermont man to the hospital. And so, in Beans Purchase, New Hampshire, Tuesday morning, New Hampshire Fish and Game were notified of an injured hiker at the Carter Notch Hut in Beans Purchase. The hiker, a 66-year-old woman from Whiting, New Jersey, had suffered a chest injury the night before when she tripped and fell between the bunk rooms and the hut. Accidents can happen anywhere, guys. At the time, she did not need help, but the injury worsened overnight. Rescue crews from the numerous agencies hiked up the 19-mile Brook Trail to the Carter Notch Hut to assist in what was assumed to be a 2.3-mile carry-out. 30 rescuers responded to this call. She was assessed by EMTs and was deemed capable of attempting to walk out under her own power with assistance. With several rescuers around in case she was not able to continue, she started hiking out at 12 p.m. After several hours of slow, steady progress, she made it down to the trail under her own power, arriving at the awaiting vehicle at 4:37 p.m. From there, she opted to seek medical treatment on her own. No further info. All right. So in the Adirondacks, we have a moose update, and this is the same moose that's been hanging around this trailhead or trail area in the middle of the trail or just in the vicinity of the trail. And they don't know what's up with the dude. So let's see what's up, man. So moose update, New York State DEC has, oh my gosh, they euthanized the moose on the Good Mount. So New York State DEC has euthanized the moose on the Goodman Mountain Trail in Tupper Lake after a significant decline in its health was confirmed. New York State DEC, along with New York State veterinarian, monitored the moose throughout the summer and observed its progressive decline in its condition and delayed response to humans. On August 6th, the biologist and state's veterinarian noted severe emaciation and advanced signs of disease leading to the decision to euthanize the moose. The Goodman Mountain Trail will remain closed while DEC completes a study of the area and continue to patrol the area, and the public will be updated on the trail reopening as soon as everything is good.
They're gonna do a necropsy on it also to see what caused its decline, so we're gonna just wait and see if there's any further information on that to see what they can share with us and see if it's gonna be an ongoing problem for other creatures or just for that particular moose too.
Sweet, good information. And there is something going on up in Maine that I know of with the moose, man. It's like a mad cow moose or something, or just this disease, man, that makes them die, man. I don't know what it is though, dude. We'll find out more though. More information as we find it out, man. All right, feeding a bear. TWRA's investigating report of bear being intentionally fed in West Knoxville. Knoxville, Tennessee. Don't feed the bears. For people in the foothills of East Tennessee where bears frequently roam, that's common knowledge. It's also a legal requirement in places like Gatlinburg. In Knoxville, however, someone reportedly fed a bear intentionally in the Level Road area. According to the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, the agency said one of its officers is currently investigating the situation. This is not a trail or hiker situation, but it is part of the problem where bears are becoming habituated to people feeding them directly or indirectly and then becoming a problem, danger for all, leading to the euthanization for human safety. Please do not do this.
I thought that was pretty important to, put in here because
I
we
do
stress
too.
so much how, the bears on the trail are fed or in these trail towns, but this just goes to show people are feeding them in their own neighborhoods.
They are.
And,
That's becoming, it is a problem, dude.
and over the years, I've had people tell me that they know someone that purposely feeds the bears. For one of the riders I had one time, just local around here, was telling me that they know someone that goes outside and feeds the bears every single day.
How about the asshole at the end of our road on Mountain Woods, dude?
That's right.
Yeah, man. So we had a bear over at our place, man. It never really came down into our area because the woman up the road fed it. Yeah. So, but we caught it on cam a few times. on our what do you call it, ring cameras thing.
And you know, the bears are cute, and whatever you want to do, feed them. They're not in need of our rescuing or whatever it is.
Sure.
They know how to find their own food, and of course they're going to come and take whatever we leave for them. But just because they're cute and fuzzy and look hungry, like they need a snack or something, please don't do that, because they are going to pay the ultimate price. They are going to be euthanized in the end.
All right, great information. All right, and so Chelan County, Washington, a 30-year-old man from North Carolina died Sunday evening after being pulled from Kolchak Lake, where he had been underwater for several minutes before fellow hikers began CPR. According to Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison, the initial emergency alert came in at 7:16 p.m. on Sunday, August 3rd, through a satellite text to 911 message. The sender reported that someone had been underwater for about 5 minutes and was not breathing. A second message confirmed CPR was underway. GPS coordinates placed the group in the remote west side of Kolchak Lake, deep in the Enchantments area of the Cascade Mountains. Due to the inaccessibility to the site, a Chelan County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue SAR coordinator immediately contacted the Washington State Department of Emergency Management to request a helicopter equipped for hoist rescue. The U.S. Army Air Ambulance Detachment, known as Yakima Dustoff, was deployed because of the proximity and the unit's ability to insert a paramedic directly at the scene. The helicopter arrived approximately at 8:46 p.m. and the medic was lowered to the patient. Ground crews were also mobilized, including 6 volunteer SAR members and 2 SAR deputies from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office in case additional assistance was needed on site. The patient was airlifted to Leavenworth Fish Hatchery, where Cascade medical paramedics were waiting. Despite the extended CPR efforts and more than an hour by bystanders at the lake and the rapid response from emergency crews, the man could not be revived. Ground responders later met with 3 remaining hikers in the group, as well as the individuals who had pulled him from the lake and administered CPR. Authorities have not released the identity of the victim, and no further injuries are reported.
Very sad.
Sure is, man. So we have a missing man for the last couple days, man. He's a Minnesota man. He's been missing for several days now. And I wanted to read this one because they somehow, the rumors, or somehow it got out that they found this dude in the river that was deceased, but it was completely the wrong person. And so they have not found the missing Minnesota hiker. And so as a search for the Minnesota hiker in the remote hiker missing in the remote Could Peak wilderness of northern Wyoming continues, confusion over another missing man found dead in Montana has rubbed already raw emotions. Reports out of Bighorn County, Montana, about finding the body of a missing man in Bighorn River caused a storm of speculation on social media that it was the man search and rescue teams are looking for in Wyoming. It wasn't. That recovery was Alan Shaw, an 82-year-old who was reportedly disappeared while on the river with a companion when their boat capsized. The Bighorn Sheriff's Office, Wyoming, reports Thursday that a full-on search and rescue effort is ongoing for Grant Gardner, 38. He was solo camping and hiking in the wilderness with a goal to summit Cloud Peak, the tallest mountain in the Bighorn Range at 13,166 feet. He did on July 29th, texting his wife at home at about 7 p.m. Mountain Time, saying he'd made it to the top. The text also indicated the climb was more taxing than he expected, and he was very tired, the sheriff's office previously reported. He said it was straight uphill on boulders, Lauren Gardner previously told the Cowboy State Daily, adding that she didn't know many details of the search, but is being kept in the loop. I think they are concerned he went off trail and got lost, and so they're looking at every possible area. She said, "I'm staying by the phone every second." So Yes, and so he has not been found. So anyone that's been following that article or following the missing hiker, man, he hasn't been discovered. So I hope they find this dude. And so the missing hiker, so the dude that was lost at Fossil Creek, the church group, I think it was, man, that went down, and one dude got off trail, man, and drank water from streams and ponds and followed the water to wherever, the river. And he got up on a highway and was able to flag a car down after 3 days. Now listen to this. So lost hiker survives 3 days in wild, credits his faith and Bear Grylls survival tips. And so Joe Sullivan lost for 3 days in Fossil Creek, credits his faith, parish prayers, and Bear Grylls inspired survival skills for his rescue. So what started as a relaxing hike quickly turned into a flight for survival for one Valley man who spent 3 days lost and alone in the Fossil Creek area near the town of Strawberry. Joe Sullivan, 59, had been enjoying the weekend retreat to Fossil Creek Saturday afternoon with a group of teenagers from his church when things took a dangerous turn. On the way back, he became separated from his group. I was just kind of like, what happened? Where is everybody? He recalled. He accidentally took the wrong turn and tried calling others, but couldn't reach anyone. By the time he was able to get through, his phone battery was down 8%. He said he attempted to use the phone to pinpoint their location, but had no luck. Then the cell phone went dead. He said, "You are at a point now where it's do or die, and you can't fail. You gotta find a way." That's when Sullivan remembered tips from survival expert Bear Grylls. Sullivan said he also applied another piece of advice from the survivalist. One of the principles from Bear is conservation of energy, Sullivan said, so I made a plan. My plan was do not walk in the heat of day. It's a great idea, man. Now, this is down in Phoenix, Arizona, whatever, New Mexico area. Super hot down there. So, he says, follow the river. Always follow the river, Sullivan said. One of the principles from Bear is conservation of energy, Sullivan said, so I made a plan. My plan was do not walk in the heat of day, but following the river wasn't easy. As you go down, it gets more narrow and more extreme and more narrow and more extreme and more challenges, tons of challenges, he said. At one point, Sullivan said he nearly fell 100 feet while trying to scale a rock. He started over and used bushes and shrubs to rappel himself up. That's where I got most of my lacerations on my hands, Sullivan said. He even resorted to eating a prickly pear cactus over the course of 2 days and filling his canteen up with water from puddles and ponds. I always begged Our Lady to find me water. She always found me water, said Sullivan, who never got sick while stranded. Search and rescue crews began looking for Sullivan on Sunday. At one point, he saw a helicopter fly overhead. But the crew didn't see him, so Sullivan kept moving and continued praying his rosary. He said that during each prayer, he was making peace with God and praying for help. The best prayer I ever made in my life, looking at the stars, not knowing if you are going to get out of it, Sullivan said. On Tuesday, he finally stumbled upon a highway. I put myself right in the middle of the road, and I just said, "Hey, stop, stop," Sullivan said. A driver stopped and took Sullivan to the Camp Verde Ranger Station. He was severely dehydrated. I mean, not to the point where he was going to die, but he was very, very dried out, said Dustin Richardson of the Camp Verde Marshal's office. So we gave him a lot of fluids, checked his vitals to make sure he was in good health, but he did really well because he didn't really require a lot. And it's probably from drinking from those mud puddles and chowing on some prickly pears, huh? Mm-hmm. Sullivan survived without any serious injuries and said the experience changed him. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, he said. I've had an inner spiritual transformation. He compared his experience to a biblical story of Jonah and the whale, where Jonah is swallowed by a great fish and spends 3 nights inside before repenting and being released. My message is, Joe, you are doing good. You need these days in the belly of the whale. Now go and do your mission, Sullivan said. In the end, he said he had 3 things to thank for making it out alive: his faith, the prayers from his parish, and survival tips he learned from watching Bear Grylls. Richardson recommends that anyone hiking bring plenty of water and fully charged phone. He also said if you get lost, stay where you were last seen because that's where search crews are going to begin looking. All right, well, I thought that was a really interesting story. I mean, Bear Grylls helped him out, I guess, man, you know what I mean? But also at the same time, never enter the forest. I don't care how many people you're with. Have a charger. I think that everyone should be carrying an SOS Garmin InReach. It's cheap to get, man. I mean, it's cheaper than your life, dude. It's cheaper than rescues coming out and trying to find you, man, and charging you after. I don't think that would have been, they wouldn't have charged him for that because that's purely a mistake. And so he just got off trail and lost his way, man. I'm glad he survived, though, man.
Definitely.
But never enter the forest or backcountry without the proper gear. Even if you're going out for a day, man, it could turn into several days. Or who knows, man? Who knows? But please, just be aware that anything can happen out here. All right. And so I have some more stuff, but we're going to leave it at this today, man. I think that's enough. So definitely, you know, it's really nice out right now, man. We picked up a dude yesterday at a hog pen that was planning on going to Unicoi Gap, and the rider just could not make it to Unicoi. He had picked off too many miles, man, the first couple days. He did a 17, right?
Yeah, he did a 17 his second day. He told me he learned a lot of stuff of what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, and so, you know, that can kill a hike off for people that he's a new dude out here, man. Even if he's done a few trails here and there, man, it's different when you go on multiple day hikes, multiple days on a hike. And so, especially when you don't know what you're doing, man. And you know, the best thing you can do is just come out here and learn. You can't learn anything by asking people online, man. You're just going to get a million different answers, dude. And also, I think people create itineraries that they can't do because of people online saying, oh, just do 80 miles. 80, I can do it in a day.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, it's better off not to listen to that stuff and just come out here and walk, learn, figure it out as you go. And another thing that I suggest to people is when you go out and buy your gear, man, buy the 4 main items that you need: your sneakers, your backpack, your tent, and, you know, stove or whatever you're gonna do, man. But those are your and a sleeping bag. And so those are your main items that you need. After that, man, you can kind of like figure it out as you go. You know what I mean, man? If you need that item now, buy it. Don't buy all the items first. Like REI, man, will sell you everything in the store, man. You'll walk out of there with everything.
Yeah.
And so you don't need all that stuff, man. Don't let anyone make you think that you need things. You don't know what you need till you get out here and you start hiking. There's a store halfway through Georgia at Mile 31. There are people out here that will deliver you gear. You can you can get online and order gear and have it here in a day or two now, man. There's no sense in buying a bunch of gear when you don't even know what you need. And so, anyways, that all being said, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No.
All right, sweet, man. So if anyone needs anything at all, give us a jingle, man. We're here for you. Have a beautiful weekend, man. I believe it's Friday, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. And so August 8th. So I thought it was August 9th. And so for some reason, but I don't know. Anyways, man, we will see you later. If anyone needs anything, give us a jingle. One love. Peace.